Welcome to SilverC Review. Alright, so I'm actually downstream from, I need to say my introduction first. This podcast will have an introduction, a movie review, a movie recommendation, some jokes and quotes, and then an Inside the Intorvert section. So all the times are listed down below, so if you want to skip a certain section or whatever, feel free to do so. And if you're wanting me to look at a movie or anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments anywhere that you can contact me. I'm actually downstream from where I was, not last podcast, but podcast before last, and we got some rain recently, so it's like moving a lot. Like I almost wasn't, I had to jump across up there to even get down here, and I'm kind of iffy going back, but I think I'll be alright. But I didn't think I was going to make it down here. There's not a lot of movement. It's going to be loud. I know in the video version I'll be harder to hear. I know this sounds not real fun to listen to, but I'm pretty sure the audio version should sound alright from what I recorded last time, so again, this will be another good test. I'm hoping when I do my jokes and quotes I can get my phone coordinated and actually get through that alright. Like, it won't be smooth by any means, but I'm hoping it'll at least not like stop my audio, so we'll see if I can get that right this time. And I didn't even do it last time because I was actually walking around. Which I haven't actually watched my last podcast because I haven't edited it yet. Like, I still need to edit the video, and it takes like 8 hours to export, so I have to let it run overnight, so I'll have to do that tonight. But so I haven't even seen it yet, but man, it was really fun walking around. I know the camera was all over the place and it wasn't on me probably most of the time. Like, I kind of glanced through it at one point and I was like, yeah, it's not a good angle whatsoever, but it was fun walking around, so I'm super excited to be able to go to audio only when I can just walk around and see. That'll be really perfect. Oh, another thing, the sun's coming behind me, so I'm not lit up like I should be. But see, if I'm walking around, I can come to areas like this, but then I can also like leave areas like this, and I can just do one picture of like me around the waterfall and stuff like that. So adds a static image. It'll be so much better. Like, I want to go to audio only right now, but I've always said throughout all my videos we'll be doing it at the end of December, so that's what I'm going to stick to. But yeah, I'm super excited to do that. It's going to be so much easier. And the audio is so easy to edit. It takes like 20 minutes to export the, or not even that, like maybe 10 minutes to export the audio, and like editing it is super easy compared to the video. I don't have to have pictures or anything like that. Oh, it's great. It's great. I can't wait. So soon it will be audio only and everything will be so much easier. Maybe, so like I said, as it's going right now, I don't really see that I'll continue it past like 3 months, past the first of the year. But maybe once I start doing audio, if it's real easy to do, I might. We'll see. But we'll see how much I like doing the audio. And of course, it sounds way, way better using this little microphone. Some movies I saw recently, Night at the Roxbury's. It's an older movie. I had seen a lot of clips of this movie, but I'd never seen like the full movie. And it was really good. Give it a 7 out of 10. Actually watched it quite a while back. The Princess Bride. I've never seen this movie. I've seen, oh man, they use so many parts of this movie to do memes and stuff. So I've seen a lot about it, and a lot of the stuff I didn't even know came from this movie, but it was excellent. Giving it a 9 out of 10. I feel like I'm having to scream, so I think it's why my throat's like, I don't like this. But yeah, Princess Bride was really good. I can't believe I haven't seen it until now. I watched one called Drowning Mona. It wasn't bad. It was enjoyable to watch, but definitely not in my collection or anything. Giving it a 5 out of 10. And not the last video, but the video before last that I was by the water. I was talking about Tom Hardy, and I think a couple times I ended up saying Tom Brady. And I actually didn't even notice it until I went back and listened to it. So that's in there. And oh yeah, I dressed up for Halloween at work, and I forgot to mention it and put the pictures in. So here, somewhere, I'm going to have a picture of my Halloween costume. I was a male stripper. And then that was at work, and actually one of the funniest out of all my coworkers, which we have like 700 people, so that's not bad. And after that, I switched into this costume because we did trunk or treat, and I had to walk around and take pictures for like 2.5 hours. And so I just did like a Candyman. Technically, I was supposed to be with one of the trunks, and it was Candyland. And I was just to do the candy, and they wanted me to take pictures instead. So that's what I did. That was a long day, man. I worked 10 hours of work and 4 hours at that event, like setting it up, taking pictures, and then I was the last one to leave, tearing it all down. So it was a 14-hour day. I was tired. But that's going to be it for the introduction. The movie review, we're going to do Equalizer 2. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. There will be spoilers, so if you've not seen the movie and don't want anything spoiled, you might want to see it first. I will not be holding anything back. So let's jump into it. His beard and outfit at the very start of the movie don't match his voice and attitude at all. Like, that was really weird. I feel like that guy should have called him out immediately. Like, it just seemed very odd, and the guy even went along with it. And honestly, I'm not really sure how that played into the rest of the movie. I think I referenced it later, but unless I just missed it, like, he never does anything like that again, so it's kind of weird. It was also strange how... Oh. This is where I reference it. I'm an idiot. So yeah, like, throughout the whole movie, like, it doesn't show him doing anything like that. It just, he goes back to his life of being a, was it Lyft? I think it was Lyft. Just a driver, and helping people out, and liking people and stuff like that, but I mean, like, he still wasn't going on missions, so I didn't really get the point of that first mission. Like, it was cool, I liked it, it was a good way to start the movie, but at the same time, it didn't tie in that I saw. That was definitely a funny saying, be nice to anybody who has access to your toothbrush. It's very true. I'm trying to get my throat to cool off a little bit. It looked like when he was fighting against those kids that he broke that one kid's neck. Like, I couldn't tell perfectly, but it looked like he killed him. And I understand maybe breaking their arms and stuff because of what they did to that lady, but killing him, that was far. That was too far. So I'm not sure if he actually did or not, but I was like, yikes. Not sure I agree with that. And also you better leave me a 5-star rating, and then him getting in the car and it pops up and it's a 5-star rating. That was goofy. We didn't need it. It wasn't really that funny, and I was like, really? Like, I had seen it in the trailer that he said that, and that's fine if you want to say it, but then to reinforce that it actually happened when he gets in the car, and he looks at it like, yeah, I didn't care for that. Oh, I really like how he does something that anybody could, but nobody does. And people complain about something that anybody could have done, and that seems to happen in our world constantly. People, instead of getting out there trying to do something, they just complain about it, and that's not getting anything done. It's not, I mean, there's times where you can voice your opinion, but a lot of times you just have to get out there and put the work, and so many people are not willing to put the work in and do what's required. Instead, it's way easier just to complain about it, and I mean, they may not be the ones at fault, but they are able to change things. They are able to go out there and work. So I love how he was doing that. The female agent did a really good job of defending herself against those two guys, and they were, I mean, as soon as they got on the elevator, you knew they were sketchy. Like, why? Like, I guess it was a hotel, but it seemed like a really fancy hotel, and they just had like sports gear on and like basketball or whatever. So I was like, they're gonna be the ones that attack her, and sure enough, which I assumed, like, we were meant to, that they were the ones that actually killed her. And at this point, I was gonna say, I'm surprised they were able to kill her, and it turns out that they weren't the ones that killed her. Surprise! It was her partner. So that was kind of interesting. The explosion with the phone was really cool. Like, just the way they did the effects on that was really neat. This movie's very similar to the first movie, just it's got some action, but the first half of it's pretty slow. Now that car fight scene, that was incredible. Like, I don't know, I can't even think of a more badass, like, inside the car vehicle scene, because he's like driving and doing all the cool things they do, like stuntmen and stuff, while fighting the guy off, and the guy's, like, he hits him really good many times, and the guy's just not giving up. So the guy's a good fighter, and he's fighting him off and driving, and that was badass. I was really confused though why the people were attacking him until it finally came out that it was her partner that is setting all this up. It's essentially trying to tie up loose ends. And actually, when right before you find that out, the lady's partner's wife goes to the front door to answer the door, and we had just seen like someone watching it. I thought they got me. Like, I thought for sure either she was dead or they were gonna walk in the room and someone's gonna have a gun to her, and that wasn't it at all. So they did a good job there. So when the people are in his house and the kid is like hiding from him, why did he not just call them in the first place? Like, the kid was freaking out, and we went through all that, and then he's like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to just call him and tell him, hey, and then of course the kid gets caught anyways. So I feel like that should have been the first line of defense, is to call them and be like, why are you in my apartment? Maybe they would have looked around as long and then they would have caught the kid. The massive storm was kind of weird. Like, it seemed really random that this big storm moved in and he was able to use it to his advantage. And I mean, he's already a very skilled fighter or spy or whatever you want to call him, hitman. So why does he need the storm? And it's so just completely by luck that the storm is that way, that it happened to move in. So like, I don't know if I really liked the storm or if I didn't like the storm. I just thought it was weird. The first of the three hitmen, when he's in the room, it keeps switching to like a shoulder cam. I didn't really understand why he was doing that. Like, it wasn't really that cool of an effect, and it didn't really add anything to it, so he didn't do it on anyone else or at any other time in the movie, so that was, I didn't really care for it. He definitely had some pretty fancy knife work when he kills that one dude. That was awesome. Nice way to kill him. Don't get me wrong, I knew he was going to take all three of the guys out. I mean, you just knew it. But I thought it was going to be more climactic. Like, I thought it was going to be more of a fight. And I know in the first movie he kind of takes him out that way too. Like, it's, he's waiting for him. But I feel like the guys he was fighting in the first movie were way more skilled than these guys. Like, okay, I remember in the first movie when he's fighting that one big guy, he barely gets away. I can't remember exactly, but he may have had to have help from someone else. So nothing like that happened in this. Like, he just destroyed them. Like, they didn't even stand a chance. And they were these big, awesome dudes. They're supposed to be all these badass killers, and I feel like they should have been able to one-up him a little bit, or at certain times, or something like that. So, which I will admit, the very last fight between him and the other dude, that one wasn't bad. That was a pretty good fight. I felt like they were both not equally matched, but on the same level at least. They could hold their own. So that wasn't too bad. I guess evacuating the island was kind of pointless because him and the kid just like sit there and watch the storm. It's like, why did everyone have to leave the island if it's really not bad enough of a storm to take out that? It didn't look like a fancy house or anything like that. Like, it wasn't anything special from anything else on the island, so that was kind of weird. Of course, at the end of the movie, everything is right again in the world besides the people who died. He goes through and makes everything all nice and friendly and all that stuff. So this pretty much was exactly like the first movie, which is not a bad thing. That's why I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I am adding it to my collection. It was a good movie, but they didn't add hardly anything. I mean, they just duplicated it with slightly different circumstances. So, if that's what they were going for, then it worked, I guess. But that's going to be it for the review. We're going to go on to the recommendation. This is going to be Blazing Saddles. This movie's from 1974. This movie's very similar to Airplane, kind of a slapstick, what do they call it? Parody type movie, and it focuses on westerns, and it's got Mel Brooks, and the description says a satirical take on westerns. Crafty railroad worker Bart becomes the first black sheriff of Rock Ridge, a frontier town about to be destroyed in order to make a new railroad. Residents harbor a racial bias, but warm up to him when they realize he's their only defense against the thugs coming to rid the town of its population. And it's a comedy, and they just have this town that's being destroyed, and people are coming in to take it over, and that's it. Like, I mean, it's like trying to describe Airplane. Like, it's a comedy about riding airplanes. Like, it's a really, really funny movie. So definitely go check it out. Blazing Saddles. We're going to go on to the jokes and quotes. Let's see how bad this goes. Okay. Alright. I don't trust staircases because they're always up to something. Well, you can barely hear that. Yeah, I think I did it. You can barely hear this, it's so loud here though. I forgot to pay my exorcist on time, so I got repossessed. Alright. Alright, I think that went as well as it possibly could have. I'll add the sound effects in on my phone, or on the audio later. As long as everything's still recording, that wasn't too bad. Like I said, it's never going to be smooth by any means, but that's only in the video, so it doesn't really matter. Quotes, never give someone the opportunity to waste your time twice. And I don't know if I can explain that one any better. That's just one of those things where it's frustrating if someone wastes your time. Your time is something you can never get back. And you really have to value that. So if someone does waste your time the first time, you can get frustrated, but just don't let them do it again. Don't hold it against them or anything, but just be aware that that's the kind of people they are, and they don't care about your time at all, so just don't let them keep doing it. The other quote, your value doesn't decrease based on someone else's inability to see your work. Everyone in this world has value, and everyone brings something different to the table, and every single person is unique. So just because someone can't see your good side, or what makes you special, or what you like about yourself, doesn't mean it should decrease. I mean, there's kind of like the quote I told last week about you can be the ripest peach and someone will still hate peaches. There's just going to be people out there that can't see what you see, and hopefully you do see everything about yourself, and you don't let someone else not able to see that diminish it, and just keep going. So be yourself, and don't worry about trying to please everybody. That's going to be it for jokes and quotes. Inside the Introvert. I feel like I might go long on this one. So I've been joking about death and killing people with somebody, and one of the guys I worked manual labor for, I was on the edge of his roof, and he came over and he said, "What's the plan?" I had no clue what he was talking about, and I was like, "The plan?" I said, "I'm gonna jump." Like, we were just because I've been talking about death and killing people and stuff like that, that was the first thing that came to mind. And it didn't go over well. He took it all seriously. I was like, no, don't do that. Why would you say that? He said, I mean the plan for me. I said, "You want me to kill you?" And he just kind of like acted like he didn't even hear that. I was like, "Oh, okay." I forget I can't talk to everybody the same way I do to some people. So yeah, that was interesting. And then I went to text that person what had happened, and I accidentally texted him because when I first got to his house, I had sent him a text, so he was the first one on my list. So I texted him. I tried to joke about death. It didn't go over well with the guy I work for, and he was the guy I work for. So it's like, oh man, that's about as awkward as it can possibly get. But it was too late. The text had gone. He never brought it up or anything like that. So whatever. It was Introvert. So they replaced our coffee machine at work because people couldn't figure out how to turn it off during the weekends or like at the end of the day. So it would stay on and like burn the coffee pot because there was nothing in it. So they had to replace it. And I don't drink coffee, I drink a lot of tea, and I always use the little hot water spout to get hot water. Because I mean, it's awesome having infinite hot water. Well, this new one they replaced it with fills up a glass of hot water at about 1/5 of the speed as the other one. Like the other one, it was like a tap. Like you turn it on, fill it up, good to go, walk away. 10 seconds. This one, you have to hold it there for about 30 to 40 seconds. And I wouldn't really mind it so bad, but when there's other people, like what happens is someone will get some coffee, and then they like mix it up, and then they need to add a little bit of water to it. And I go in to start getting my water because they're like over here doing their stuff, and they turn, and then they gotta sit there and wait on me. So now it's like awkward. I'm not looking at them. I know they're staring at me. And it's like, it makes me mad because people couldn't handle the coffee, the old coffee pot, so we got this new one, and it's terrible at hot water. But it's a very introverted experience that happens quite a bit. Very awkward as well. The last one, the area I go to sit by the river each day, it's, I don't know where I'm going with the story, hang on. Oh, it's a walking trail, and it's really wide. I could actually drive my car down it, and it's got a lot of straight stretches on it. Like there is a big curve, but it's like a long straight stretch, and then a curve, and then a long straight stretch. Well, you can see people from a long ways away, and it's always awkward for me because I don't like making eye contact until I'm like from here to, I don't know what you can see, from here to like the other bank or something like that. So like I like being able to see their eyes just fine and be at a distance that I can say something like hi or smile at them or something like that. But I don't want to make eye contact until that point. So I've got this big long straight stretch, and it's a fairly popular area, so there's always people walking. So now it's like, well great, I have to limit my vision to looking like over here, or like up here, or like down on the ground, until I get close enough to it. Man, it happens all the time. I feel like introverts probably one of the few type of people that think about stuff like that constantly, but it drives me insane. To make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's it. So that's going to be all for this one. There's an introduction video out there. It kind of tells you about where I'm going with my podcast and what it's about and all that stuff. So if you're just listening to this one for the first time, you can check that out and get more information. All my videos are on YouTube, so you can see exactly what you're hearing, and all my older episodes are on YouTube, so you can see all of them on there. All the MP3s go onto the audio, goes on SoundCloud. They stay on there for like 2 months, and then they get kicked off because I'm running out of room. And I have Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, I kind of share funny pictures. On Twitter, I share funny links and stuff from YouTube. And that's it. So if you need to contact me, you can use any of those. I do a terrible job of actually posting stuff on them very much, but whatever, they're there. So that's going to be it. Take care of yourself because there's only one you out there.